muffled, wore-out racetrack as Everett Bingham pulls the pace truck to the infield. Here we go, Peter.
Here we go. I'm ready.
Absolutely. I've been waiting all summer for this one. Off of turn number 4. Here we go. Green flag flies. Ray Christian leads him to green. Down the back straightaway now, side by side. DJ Shaw going to try to pull out in front, and he will do so. DJ Shaw, his father, a longtime Bush North competitor, ran some down south for James Finch Racing. DJ Shaw and his father Dale Shaw run Dale Shaw race cars up in center Conway, New Hampshire, and DJ goes to the head of the class. Shaw in car number 60. Corey Bubar getting frisky now as he works into the third spot, tries to set sail for Ray Christian III. Christian in an unbelievable race in the end of 2018. He and Ben Rowe battled it out side by side, lap after lap. Devin O'Connell wound up the champion that day, but it was Ray Christian III coming out on top. The year before that, it was Mike O'Sullivan celebrating a championship here at this racetrack, and we are going to reignite that tradition coming up in about a month. Saturday the 24th of October as we go 100 laps and crown a champion. Looks like it's going to come down to 2, maybe 3 drivers. Joey Pohl in car number 97. Pohl currently running in the 4th position. Ray Christian III, who runs in 2nd. Those two pretty likely to going to be in that fight. And then Angelo Belcito, he's going to have to gain some points over the next week or two if he's going to have any shot at this thing. He runs in 5th now.
Yeah, right now, these guys look to be... we're 150 laps. Typically, like you said, we only do 100 laps. At 150 laps, there's a lot of strategy to be played out. Some of these guys, we haven't been here in a couple of years. So all the notebooks we have from a couple of years ago are coming into play right now. So they're just going to ride single file and figure everything out.
Absolutely. A couple of guys hunting around. Corey Bubar moves up the racetrack. Joey Pohl has been moving up the racetrack. Here comes Pohl on the inside. Bubar trying to hunt for some speed up high on the racetrack and open up the hole for Joey Pohl. Joey Pohl in that 97 made 4 starts with the ACT Tour at this racetrack and won 3 of them, including the last 2 times he was here. Joey Pohl really likes this place, but had never competed with the big 10-inch tires and the big 604 engine. So Joey Pohl starting to figure this thing out a little bit as he works to 3rd. Corey Bubar hanging tough on the outside.
And with Corey Bubar sitting on the outside, it goes to show you that you can run 2 grooves here. Very important to understand that and to know that for a lot of these guys. That will come into play later in the race, but right now, people still, they're hunting for that bottom spot.
Absolutely. Corey Bubar starting to back up a little bit now as Joey Pohl gets by. Now Angelo Belcito going to go to work in that 8 car. That would put all 3 the top point getters nose to tail, and we've got one around to the backstretch. Looks like Adam Gray. Adam Gray in the 29 around over on the backstretch. So the deal 18 points in back of Belcito in 4th. So it's really a 3-horse race and could wind up being a 2-horse race depending on how that 8 car does here tonight. So here we go. 139 laps to go. Green flag flies. Bobby Blanchette turns on the loose once again. Quickly out in front once again. DJ Shaw with a really good race restart there. Granite State Pro Stock Series uses a box-style restart, just like the Waterford Speed Bowl weekly competitors. Off of turn number 4 now. DJ Shaw out in front. The battle is for seconds. Corey Bubar up on the high side, trying to swing around opportunity, but it has to be a true flat tire.
Yep.
Can't just say my car feels a little silly.
Yeah.
So slow pace down the front straightaway. DJ Shaw very slow on the outside. We have the choose rule here with the Granite State Pro Stock Series. The leader chooses his lane. Very slow pace through 3 and 4. Came up to speed. Corey Bubar in the 12 car. Hanging tough on the bottom. Shaw down into turn number 3. Trying to hold on to the top spot. Bubar battling back on the inside. Right there in 3rd. Looks like Joey Pohl now up to 3rd. Ray Christian III loses a spot back to 4th. And Angelo Belcito right there in 5th. So the top 3 point getters right there together. DJ Shaw out in front. Corey Bubar trying to work inside. Bubar out of the state of Maine, out of Windham, Maine. DJ Shaw to center Conway, New Hampshire. Those two battle it out regularly up in Maine. As now Shaw gets the advantage. Joey Pohl on a mission. Talked to Talked to DJ Shaw just before this thing got started, and I said, what do you think? What do you got? He said, I don't think I can beat Joey Pole. Didn't talk about not being able to finish in the top 5, as we've got a couple of cars around down here in turn number 1. Here tonight as we get ready to turn him loose once again. Lights are out atop the pace track. He pulls to the infield. Lights are out around the racetrack. Bobby Blanchett set to turn him loose. Green flag flies as DJ Shaw took the inside, put Pole up on the outside. Joey Pole going to make quick work of DJ Shaw as they head down the back straightaway. And Shaw told me that was the one guy that he was worried about was Joey Pole. Ray Christian back up to 3rd now as that seesaw battle with him continues. Christian in that 93 will settle into the 3rd spot. Needs to beat Joey Pole if he's going to take that point lead back here tonight. But Joey Pole looks really strong as that 97 car out of Hudson, New Hampshire. Started the year with a Ford motor. Opted to switch back over to the Chevrolet. Here late in the going, there's a bit of a weight break for the Chevrolet. The Ford carries a little more horsepower, a little more performance-oriented, so they put a little bit of a weight penalty on the Ford motor as the tech team here at the Granite State Pro Stock Series. And as a result, Joey Pole decided he wanted to give up a little bit of horsepower, gain a little bit of a weight break. He put the Chevrolet motor in, and it has been beneficial. Dave Darling up into the 4th position now. Darling so fast in time trials, and then drew that dreaded bad pill. He drew the 7 pill, so only had one position he could have drawn worse, but taking advantage now, moving forward as he goes to work on the back of Ray Christian. Dave Darling out of Seekonk, Massachusetts, lives over there, and ought to just own that racetrack at this point.
Yeah, I know. He's the top gun over there. Everybody guns for him every single year. He seems to pull away with a championship every single year. But hey, to their credit, they put together a good team and a good car, and he puts it in victory lane, or at least be consistent.
Absolutely. Looks to crack the top 3 here as he works his way to the inside on Ray Christian. Christian going to settle in behind him. Balsito in 4th. Gabe Brown working forward. He moves up into the 5th position. Corey Bubar, Brown in 6th rather. Bubar 7th. Ryan Kuhn up into 8th. Kuhn with a great run a week ago. Finished 3rd up at the Star Speedway. Ran inside the top 5 all night long. Did a really nice job. His father, Jimmy Kuhn, longtime modified competitor around New England, has gotten out of the car and turned the wheel over to Kuhn, who chose Fendered Racing, came out of the Legends car ranks. Does a lot of iRacing, does Ryan Kuhn. Mike O'Sullivan in 9th. Casey Call in 10th. Another one of the youngsters out of the Legends car ranks.
Casey Call's had a real stout season this year. Him and Jake Mathis, those guys, they turn a lot of heads this year.
Something not right with that Adam Gray machine. Car number 29, the Meadows Motor Cars entry out of Belchertown, Massachusetts. Gray really good in time trials. Was good in his heat race, but not great. But he is really struggling here as that car is off the pace. As he is within half a lap of going the lap down. So Adam Gray struggling here tonight. Tough break for him. Also deep in the field, Tom Scully Jr. runs in 14th, a regular at Seekonk. Austin Blaze, Bobby Pelland, all Seekonk regulars. A little bit of extra money here from Dick Williams on the line. The top 3 Seekonk/Waterford regulars will get a little bit of extra cash. I believe it's $125 to the top finishing guy.
I did not know that. That's good to see Dick. I saw Dick walking around this evening. It's good to see him here.
Usually think of him as a modified guy, but
no, but he's a racing guy.
Absolutely.
He is a racing guy. He actually paid me a compliment. He said I look better with a mask on.
Well, everybody tells me that, but that's a whole other issue here. So Mike Mitchell looks like he is down a couple of laps as he has gone to the pit area and not returned. So tough break there for Mike Mitchell in that 40 machine.
Everybody seems to be falling into their own little groove right now since we have a long, long way to go. 120 laps to go. As now they are coming up behind the Adam Gray machine. It seemed to have gone evil tonight for him.
No question about it. Mike Mitchell is back on the racetrack. He is 1 lap down on the racetrack. So Mike Mitchell in the 40 car. I guess the late model was better for him than the Pro Stock here tonight as he comes up on a battle there. Austin Blaze up high on the racetrack. That's the white number 16. Granite State Pro Stock Series does do a lucky dog, so there's the opportunity to get a lap down. Adam Gray would be the lucky dog. as he is 1 lap down. If this thing were to go caution right now, Mike Mitchell now gets around Gray. So Mike Mitchell would be the first car a lap down. So he would be the lucky dog. Out in front, Joey Pole. 0.3 of a second up on his nearest competitor, who is DJ Shaw. In third, Dave Darling has run that front pair down. He is about 3/4 of a second back of that pair. But coming strong, Dave Darling in that brightly colored number 52.
And Angelo Balsito comes up in fourth. He's really turned things on. Last week he had struggled mightily at the Star Speedway, and right now he's reeling these guys in right now. And I don't know if they're all showing their hand, though.
Well, 150-lap race on a wore-out all racetrack will use up these American Racer tires. American Racer does a fantastic job. They bring us a great tire that we can race on and then practice the next week. But it's still tough. 150 laps at a racetrack like this is tough on those tires. Austin Blaze off the pace on the front straightaway. Another one of those Seekonk guys has struggled here tonight. They just are missing something on that 16 car. His dad was really frustrated, asked if they were going to head to Lee or come back here. He said, I just don't know. We got to figure some stuff out with this race car.
He just turned off a turn 2 into the infield, so he's throwing in the towel. Looks like something going wrong with the 16.
Yeah, Adam Gray has done the same thing. He has parked it for the night. So evidently when he got off over in turn number 2, something broke. Yeah, something bent or broke on that machine. So tough break there for Gray. DJ Shaw, who is kind of the setup guy on that 29 car for Gray, was really happy. They made some major changes to the back of that race car, and he was pretty excited about that for Adam, and evidently problems on that machine as his night is cut short. So Joey Pole continues to show the way in the 97 as he is working lap traffic. Alexander Pearl goes a lap down now. Got to be tough for Pearl as he comes in and jumps in that car with no laps here today. Granted, the racetrack is familiar, but he's been up in that SK Light car.
Right.
Huge tires and lots of horsepower on that thing.
And plus you have someone else set the car up for you and everything, and it's, to their liking, not to your liking, and then you hop in the car, like you said, with no practice, and things all change, and it's not a good night for the 87.
Yeah, tough break for that team as they worked awfully hard here earlier today. So Joey Pole leads it. DJ Shaw is in second. Dave Darling is in third. Fourth spot belongs to Angelo Balsito. Ray Christian in fifth. So still all 3 top point getters here in the top 5. Christian was really looking forward to this event at his home racetrack. Thought he was really going to have something for him, and struggling just a little bit here tonight. 6th spot belongs to Gabe Brown. He's passed a couple of cars moving forward. Young man in car number 47 doing a really nice job. Corey Bubar has fallen back to 7th. Ryan Kuhn up to 8th. Mike O'Sullivan to 9th. And rounding up the top 10, that rookie Casey Call hanging tough there.
Ooh, we got one going sideways in turn 2, turn 1, side.
Yes, he has. Putting DJ Shaw on the bottom. That worked out well for Pole previously. 105 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Blanchette turns them loose. We'll work our way towards third distance, and Pole once again jumps to the lead. However, Joey Pole must fire first. So here we go. We'll try it again. Pace car is off the racetrack. Yellow lights are out. Very slow pace. Ooh. And DJ Shaw got the jump. So here we go. To the box. Joey Pole, DJ Shaw. Pole pulls the trigger. Yeah, good start there. Pole going to get the advantage, but not by quite so much as DJ Shaw did last time. Joey Pole out in front. Is that Balsito up the outside of the 8? It is D'Angelo Balsito in the 8 car around the outside of DJ Shaw. Shaw going to try to tuck it to the inside of the racetrack and take the spot back. Nothing doing there. Balsito by half a car length now. For second, Dave Darling in third. Battle now for the 5th spot. Darling in 4th, rather. As Ray Christian battling it out with Corey Bubar. That is for the 5th position. Christian trying not to fall out of the top 5 here in the early going as we work our way towards lap number 50. Joey Pole starting to drive away here. That car really, really good tonight. Gabe Brown on the move, already back up into 10th. Gabe Brown hustling that 47 car. Keep your eyes on that black and yellow machine. He is flying. Works his way to the back bumper on Ryan Kuhn.
But Gabe Brown's a pretty intense driver, and you know when he got into a little spin over there with a lap car, he's probably none too happy, and he's going to get up on the wheel, and he's going to race to the front right now.
Absolutely. The only problem he's got is going to use up the tires, so needs to be smart about this thing as we are 50 laps in, 100 laps to go. Here in this 150 lapper. Ryan Kuhn now under pressure once again. Car number 72 feeling the heat. Mike O'Sullivan, the guy on his back bumper now. As Joey Pohl out in front, 15.2 second lap time. So about a half a second off the pole speed as he is trying to save the equipment here. Dave Darling goes to work on DJ Shaw. Shaw in the third position. Darling would love to pick up a spot here.
He's looking to the inside on every lap right now. DJ's giving him a little bit, but Dave Darling just can't keep the car to stick on the bottom.
Yeah, I think Shaw's car is probably a little better up that one groove in the racetrack. Darling's probably is as well, but that's where Shaw's are going. So
right, one car there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Darling's going to go somewhere else. Ray Christian has settled into the 5th spot, but he is falling off the back of that front group. Christian about 0.2 of a second slower than the front 4. So 95 down now as we work our way through this 150-lap main event for the Granite State Pro Stock Series here at the Waterford Speed Bowl. I want to thank y'all for coming out, hanging out with us tonight as we got things settled out, starting to click off some laps. Christian now has lost another spot. Corey Bubar has gotten around. Christian going to try to battle back. Gabe Brown up into 8th position now, as he will set sail after the rookie Casey Call. Whoa! Oh, we've got 2 around. Hard contact into the turn 1 wall, right? Second place point getter Ray Christian and Corey Bubar all the way from Maine, done for the night. Off of turn number 4, green flag flies. Here we go. Joey Pohl quickly to the front once again on Belcedo. Pohl took the outside again. Belcedo will settle into second now down the back straightaway. Dave Darling on the bottom of the racetrack. And on the top side of the track, that looks like Casey Call. Casey Call up into the top 4.
Tremendous run. That thing's really coming alive after the 1/3 point of this race.
Absolutely. Gabe Brown up into the 5th position now, doing a fantastic job. Mike O'Sullivan back to 6th. He's been on pit road once, so O'Sullivan doing a really, really nice job in that black and red car number 08. That team fielded by his father. Battle for the top spot now. Angelo Belcedo. Miserable day at Star, lost a ton of points, now works to the inside on Joey Pohl. Looks to be the beneficiary of that Ray Christian incident down in turn number 1. Side by side for the top spot. Looks like 1 week ago at Star when it was Derek Griffith not in competition here tonight. Griffith and Joey Pohl battled it out. We've got one off the bottom down here in turn number 1.
And the 17 is off into the first turn area. Looks to be far enough off the track. He refires now. Will enter hopefully off the backstretch.
Been a tough night here for Kevin Fullen. And that 17 team, the North Attleboro, Massachusetts driver, going to make his way back up onto the racetrack now on the back straightaway. Does a nice job staying down out of the way. So it's Belcedo, Joey Pohl, Dave Darling, Casey Call, and Gabe Brown. Your top 5, Gabe Brown from the pit area to the top 5.
Joey Pohl
goes to Belcedo.
62.
Joey Pohl came a little hot into turn 3.
88 laps to go. Casey Call on the bottom. Dave Darling on the top. Darling fires. Casey Call. Great restart for the young man in the 90. Gabe Brown up to the inside of row number 2. Also in that fight, Mike O'Sullivan, the top 4, trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field. Darling to the head of the class. Knows how to win these races. He has won with the Granite State Pro Stock Series before at Seekonk. Going to try to do it here at a much larger Waterford Speed Bowl. As he is out in front, Casey Call, the rookie in car number 90. Mike O'Sullivan, the two-time series champion. Been a couple of years since he picked up a series win. Gabe Brown in fourth. What a drive for that young man. Is there anything left in the car? As Brown is fourth, Tom Scully Jr. up into the fifth position. Another one of those Seekonk regulars. Ryan Kuhn doing a nice job. He is up to sixth. Craig Weinstein in seventh. Tyler Tomasi up in the top 10. Are you kidding me? It's the first time he's ever started one of these races.
Crazy.
DJ Shaw up to ninth already. Bobby Pelland in 10th. DJ Shaw picking him up, putting him down as he makes his way back to the front.
You know, I got my eye on the back of the pack right now because Angelo Balsito and Joey Pohl were two of the fastest cars through this event so far, and now they got to come from the back, so keep your eye on the back. Every once in a while, just peek back there.
They are not fooling around. Mike Mitchell a lap down up in the thick of that thing as well. He would like to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. Actually, looks like Mitchell might be 2 laps down, actually, so it's going to be tough for him to get that deal, although right now, not the first car a lap down. Out in front, Dave Darling showing the way, starting to drive away a little bit. Hopefully he's not going too soon and using up his stuff. In second spot, young Casey Call, the rookie, out of the Legends car ranks. Picked on him a little bit earlier today as he had one race at this racetrack in a Legends car and wound up with a car inside his car up against the wall, trapped in the race car. He was fine, just couldn't get out of the race car. Yeah, which is probably never a good feeling. I mean,
pretty scary, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Mike O'Sullivan up to third now as he battles around Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown in fourth, and Tom Scully in fifth. Great run for that team. Scully's team, a team that usually sticks close to home, but home isn't racing. Seekonk Speedway not racing this year.
Right.
They got some Friday night stuff in and tried to go Saturday night racing, but
shut it down.
Governor of Massachusetts decided that, I guess he's not a race fan. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's not a race fan. He can open up casinos and have everybody elbow to elbow doing slots, but you can't open up a speedway and have people.
You can't catch the COVID in the casino.
No.
It's a thing.
Nope. No, who pads your pockets?
Oh, my Lord. Dave Darling starting to open things up. Darling, 15.3 second lap times. Casey Call, 15.4, so Darling about a tenth of a second quicker as we are halfway. Good news there is that means it's an official race, not that it's going to rain. Not sure why I'm even talking about that, but Dave Darling out in front. Casey Call in second. Mike O'Sullivan third. Gabe Brown fourth. Tom Scully in fifth. Ryan Kuhn, another one of the Seekonk regulars, in sixth. Craig Weinstein, his first start of the season, in the seventh position. DJ Shaw all the way back up to eighth. Angelo Balsito up to ninth. Joey Pohl up into 10th. Shaw pitted for adjustments. Balsito and Pohl in that dust up over in turns 3 and 4 as they were leading the thing. They were running 1-2 and got together. So tough break for those guys. So that's your top 10. Tyler Tomasi still running in 11th. Great young run for that young man. Bobby Pelland in 12th. Luke Hinckley in 13th. Kevin Folan is 14th. Looks like he's a lap down. Alexander Pearl a lap down in the 87. Mike Mitchell 2 laps down in car number 40. And behind them, everybody else off the racetrack. Kyle Harville, Corey Bubar, Ray Christian, Adam Gray still out running around a number of laps down after a trip down pit road for an issue with his race car. Jake Matheson and Austin Blaze off the racetrack. Dave Darling driving away 1.3 seconds to his nearest competitor. And you would think with that big a difference, Casey Call would be being eaten up by the second place guy, but Mike O'Sullivan holding steady at about 0.3 of a second off of the back. Another couple of tenths back is Gabe Brown, then Tom Scully. The question is, are any of these guys saving anything, or is this all they got?
Right, it's hard to say right now. I mean, 68 laps to go now. You don't really know. I mean, Darling's not holding anything back right now. He's going.
It certainly doesn't seem like it.
Yeah,
hopefully that doesn't bite him in the butt a little bit later on.
Right, yeah, he could chew up the stuff. You know, being a Seekonk regular, this is not his forte down here. I mean, he's a great driver in this. I'm sure he can adapt to this track, but you don't know. Yeah, maybe he's burning the stuff up. We'll see. We got 67 laps to figure it out.
DJ Shaw going to try to go to work on Craig Weinstein. Weinstein in that 90 car. DJ Shaw in the 60 trying to run him down. Weinstein having a decent run here as he runs in the 7th position. Shaw trying to make his way back forward after that trip down pit road. Probably figures he'd have fallen back to the back of the top 10, so this is a push for him at this point. Definitely not what Shaw wanted coming to this racetrack. Shaw, anytime he runs with the Granite State Pro Stock Series, always looking for the win. Mike Mitchell now being shown on the lead lap here, so evidently a scoring issue on car number 40, Mike Mitchell. They just moved him into the 12th position on the lead lap, so evidently.
We got a car in the back stretch.
So one stopped over on Dave Darling, Casey Call, Michael Sullivan, Gabe Brown, Tom Scully, the top 5. Here we go. 63 laps to go. Green flag flies. Good Lord, Dave Darling has that 52 car, the Bristol Toyota, absolutely hooked up here tonight. He is flying. That car is so good right now. So they make their way back to the start-finish line. Ryan Kuhn gained a bunch of spots in that deal. He comes out of that 4th. Ryan Kuhn on the move as he tries to make his way forward. He, Kuhn, and Darling and Scully, all those guys very familiar with each other as they are all Seekonk Speedway regulars or former regulars. Gabe Brown up into 3rd. His best finish of the year this season was a 3rd place finish at the Claremont Motorsports Park in that 10 grand to win show. Brown now goes to the outside on Casey Call. Gabe Brown getting it done. What a run for the young man. 3 youngsters right there together. Casey Call, heck, he's still in high school. He's barely legal to drive. Gabe Brown, about the same age. Ryan Kuhn, a couple of years older, but not much. Mike O'Sullivan and Dave Darling bookending those 3 youngsters. Casey Call, the only true rookie. Gabe Brown, been at this thing a couple of years. Won an Oxford Speedway Championship a couple of years ago in that 47 car. Ryan Kuhn has been focusing mostly on ACT competition and has had a struggle here in 2020 with that car, but looking strong in the Pro Stock. Finished 3rd last week at Star, ran in the top 5 all night long as he goes to work on Gabe Brown.
You know, I'm starting to look at Gabe Brown's car right now. He's drifting up to the center of the track a little bit through the turns. He might have burnt up a little bit too much coming through the pack right now, and he's started giving up a little bit to the bottom. Right now he seems to be holding back in line here, but I think his car's fading away just a bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's got anything for that top 2. Dave Darling's gone. That car is unbelievably good. Casey Collins, 2nd, is a really good car as well. He's doing a really nice job. Gabe Brown, I think you're right. I think those right side tires are fairly unhappy with Gabe Brown. They would like to put all of them right in a timeout for a couple of minutes, let them cool down a little bit, but that is not going to happen. As we come up on 2/3 distance here.
That might be the case. He might need to have them cooled off because he put on a real fierce charge, and then he started to drift up the track a little bit, and I think she loosened up on him a little bit now.
Yeah, no question. Tough break for Gabe Brown. Shows just how good as he is here tonight. Got caught up with a lap car. Got caught up with that 87 Alexander Pearl. So tough night for Gabe Brown. He is not going to be a happy camper. His social media sites, I'm sure, will be lively later on tonight. But Gabe Brown is a good kid, just a youngster, really good kid, good family. Really happy to see him running well. I am sure he will be back for the October race. Loves this racetrack. We may see him at Lee next week, but I am sure he will be back here and trying to pick up the win with everything he has learned in this event as we come back around to 1 lap till the end. Oh, wait, it's 150
laps.
Right.
I was just going to say, we'd be going to 1 to go right now.
Yeah, it'd be the white flag.
Add on 50 more.
Yeah, the white flag would be flying if, in fact, this was a normal Granite State Pro Stock Series event, but this is a 150 lapper for an extra $1,000 to win. And Dave Darling looking to pick up that $3 grand and take it back to Seekonk, Massachusetts. Casey Call would love to get up and mess with him, but that young man doing a nice job being patient, saving his stuff, not burning the tires off of that car, trying to catch Darling. Gabe Brown doing a nice job hanging on to third. Ryan Kuhn fourth. Mike O'Sullivan fifth. Tom Scully continues to run in sixth. Joey Pohl, the point leader, in seventh. DJ Shaw is eighth. Angelo Balsito ninth. Craig Weinstein back into the 10th position now. Dave Darling out in front, trying to run away and hide. Casey Call started in 11th, up to second. Great run for that young man. Looking things over, seeing who might be eligible here for the Hard Charger Award of the night. We give that away at each and every Granite State Pro Stock Series events. So Casey Call looks like he would be the man right now. As that kid doing a really, really super nice job tonight. Craig Weinstein, though. Weinstein started in 17th up to 10th, so now it looks like Casey Call, if it ended right now, would be the Hard Charger.
Yeah, you got to wonder at this point in the race how much, does everybody, there's no one's really doing strategy anymore. I think a lot of guys are just hanging on right here and pretty comfortable with what they're doing. And, Dave Darling set sail.
Yeah, I think the trouble for the top guys, Christian and Bubar and Balsito and Pohl, has really strategy. I think it's taking the strategy and throwing it out of the window. All those guys that really wanted to save their stuff for 75 or 100 laps, they couldn't because they're at the back of the pack. The guy that's been able to run exactly the line that his race car wants is Dave Darling, and he has taken advantage. He is absolutely gone as he is driving away. Second and a half now. We go from a race where we were less than a tenth of a second for the win.
Right.
And now with 42 laps to go, we're a second and a half between first and second. Angelo Balsito getting a little frisky back there in the 8 car. He works over the back of DJ Shaw.
He's had a couple incidences. This is like the second or third time he's tried to work over the 60 right now with DJ Shaw. The last time he got a little sideways and backed up a little bit. He's going to try it again on the inside.
Yeah, Craig Weinstein right there as well, going to try to take advantage. DJ Shaw not having the night he had hoped for here tonight at the Waterford Speed Bowl. Dave Darling flashes across the stripe. Casey Call. The battle now is for third. Gabe Brown's got it. Up the racetrack. Here comes Ryan Kuhn, the youngster in the 72. A couple of youngsters there. Kuhn works to the inside of the racetrack. Can he get back into the top 3? Third place finishes in a row. Is that going to happen? Mike O'Sullivan right there as well in 5th. O'Sullivan in that 0-8. Doing a really nice job. Now Gabe Brown able to get back clear of Kuhn. Gabe Brown showing maturity here. Had struggled over the course of the last couple of seasons with the Granite State Pro Stock Series. Showing really nicely here tonight as we are 37 laps to go.
Angelo Balsito still doing it with the 60. Got some a little loose coming off a 2 there. Oh, boy.
Yeah, DJ Shaw not going to put up a lot of shenanigans here as they are battling hard. Now Craig Weinstein has joined that fight. Weinstein in the 90, Mike Mitchell behind them in the 40 car. Dave Darling, almost 2 seconds the advantage, continues to open up the gap.
Setting an incredible pace.
0.2 of a quick lap quicker than Casey Call. Call has got about 0.6 of a lap, about half a second over his closest competitor now, Gabe Brown. Of course, Gabe Brown can't settle in and try to run down Call as he is feeling the heat from Ryan Kuhn.
Well, that'll slow you down, too, because the car's drifting up, and then you got a guy battling you on the inside. Now you're going to become on lap traffic. It kind of takes away from your lap times, and everybody else starts to drive away from you.
Absolutely. That 87 car going a lap down now, another lap down. So not the night that Alexander Pearl had hoped for, but doing double duty at 2 different racetracks.
Yeah, full day of racing, he's got to be exhausted.
Yeah, that boy going to sleep good tonight. Hopefully he doesn't have to drive home here tonight. Darling, Call, Brown, Kuhn, O'Sullivan continue to run in the top 5. Belcedo continues on DJ Shaw. Belcedo drops the nose to the inside. Shaw with a runoff down the back straightaway.
Craig Weinstein looking to get a little impatient here. We might have something blossom out of this little path.
Weinstein not known for his patience, and Mike Mitchell right there. Mitchell's had a long day, got caught up in a couple of dust-ups in the late model race. Now has trouble here in the Pro Stock race. Would love to make his way up into the top 10. He's just one spot out, so would love to make that happen. DJ Shaw able to get clear of Belcedo now, as Darling continues to click off laps. A couple of tenths quicker than his nearest competitors. Casey Call, what a run for that young man. Just a fantastic drive here tonight. Kept the nose clean. Kept that Crazy Horse chassis out of trouble. Running in second. Ryan Kuhn now looks to the inside, to the outside on Gabe Brown.
Trying something a little different this time around.
It looks like it's going to work. Ryan Kuhn drives around Brown now for the third position.
Outside had the magic.
Ryan Kuhn getting it done up into the top 3 for the second week in a row. Gabe Brown, still a great run for him. Mike O'Sullivan in 5th as we are 25 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 125 laps in the books, 25 to go. Dave Darling just wants it to stay clean and green here tonight. Darling down into turn number 1. Casey Call. And here comes Ryan Kuhn. Kuhn closing up on Casey Call. Kuhn had to work that car awfully hard to get around Gabe Brown. Does he have anything left?
Right, he tried the outside. He might just go right for the outside here on Casey Call if he's got any chance of getting up into the second spot, let alone try to hunt down Dave Darling.
Yeah, no question. Casey Call there in second. He needs to find a little tiny bit of speed as he works his way towards the lap car of Alexander Pearl. Pulls up to the outside now. Through turns 3 and 4. Call gets clear. Kuhn going to try to get clear. That's actually Kevin Folan going a lap down. As Folan stays down out of the way. 20 laps to go. Dave Darling on cruise control. Just riding around, clicking off laps.
And you got to believe Dave Darling is pretty excited when he sees in the mirror. If he starts seeing guys battle, you know, he's going to be able to just clear sailing.
Absolutely. Tyler Tomasi picking up a spot on Bobby Pelland. Tyler Tomasi in his first ever Pro Stock race doing a really nice job. 14 cars still on the lead lap. Pelland, the last of those cars. Ryan Kuhn goes to work on Casey Call. Call going to have to get up on the wheel for 17 laps, but don't think he's got anything for him. Ryan Kuhn drives around.
Boy, he got some magic on that outside. That's really working for him.
Yeah, the tires on Casey Call's car, they are done. Used up. And that last lap, Ryan Kuhn was 0.2 of a lap quicker than Dave Darling. But it's a 2-second gap, so 10 laps or so. Kuhn should be able to run Dave Darling down unless Darling can pick it up. Darling that time. Whoa, Darling picked it up almost 0.4 of a second.
Oh, someone said giddy up and get going.
Yeah, Dave Darling's spotter said, hey, Kuhn's coming.
Yeah, no time to say anything.
Darling stepped it up a ton as Bobby Pelland goes a lap down in the 12. Tyler Tomasi would be up next as we have 13 cars on the lead lap. Bobby Pelland has gone a lap down now in the 12 machine. Dave Darling trying to lap up past 13th spot. Craig Weinstein going to work on DJ Shaw. Shaw in 9th, Weinstein in 10th behind Belcedo and Joey Pohl.
Gabe Brown and Casey Call getting together here. The 3 wide. Casey Call backs out of it. Woo, that was tough.
Mike O'Sullivan took advantage. O'Sullivan picked up a spot now. So Dave Darling the leader, Ryan Kuhn second, Gabe Brown in third. Brown looking for a second top 3 finish in a row for him. His last start up at the Claremont Motorsports Park, he finished third. Running in third now, Mike O'Sullivan in fourth. Looking for one more spot for that podium finish. DJ Shaw trying to hold off Craig Weinstein here. Darling flashes across the stripe once again. Ryan Kuhn in second. Gabe Brown in third. Mike O'Sullivan off the back of him pretty substantially. So Dave Darling was running about the same times as Ryan Kuhn. Now he's opened it up to about a 2.5 second, almost 3 second lead with 7 laps to go. So Darling at this point could pretty well shut it down.
But this is the sport of auto racing, and you never, ever know what's going to happen from lap to lap. Right now, it looks like clear sailing. We're coming on 5 to go.
So Dave Darling across the stripe, 5 laps to go. As he is lapped up through 13th, Luke Hinckley would be his next victim in 12th. Dave Darling has absolutely put on a clinic.
Stayed conservative in the early going, was not mentioned too much out there, and the other guys were battling and having problems, and this is the result of it. Consistency and staying out of trouble.
Looked like it was going to be the Joey Pole and Angelo Belcito show there for a while.
It was, yeah.
And then they got tangled up. Not able to make it back past 7th spot. Joey Pole in 7th, Belcito in 8th. 2 laps to go, says Bobby Blanchett. 2 to go for Dave Darling. Car number 52, Johnson Landscape, Bristol Toyota. Won a pile of races at Seekonk. A multi-time Seekonk champion. Flashes under the white flag. He could just about turn it off and coast back around. Has a 2-second lead over Ryan Kuhn. We go from a race where they finish within inches each other to a 2-second gap off of turn number 4. Dave Darling going to pick up the win. Second goes to Ryan Kuhn. Third spot will be Gabe Brown, Mike O'Sullivan, and Casey Call round out the top 5. Well,
yeah, I mean, I can't thank the guys that work on the car, Jeff Elliott, on Gary Johnson. I mean, this thing was just unbelievable. It was perfect.
Looked like early on it was going to be the Joey Pole and Angelo Belcito show, and you were just kind of biding your time, but when they had their issue and you got to the front, it was like a switch, man. You were gone.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying not to burn the tires up even, I don't know, first 100 laps or so just trying to find a good spot to ride and watch the show, I guess.
You're sort of a fan of Seekonk Speedway. You won a ton of races there in championship. This is like maybe your second favorite now.
Yeah, I came here a few years ago for the first time, and this place is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's fast, completely different, but got good grip, and so you really get after it. And we were trying to save some tires there, and it's like the faster I went, the better it drove. So I got to thank everybody. I got to thank my dad, Gary Johnson. They own the car with me. My dad's been a supporter of mine ever since I was 16, obviously since I was born, but racing-wise, 16. I can't thank him enough. Got to thank my girlfriend for supporting me, and I love her so much, and she's probably going to static at home right now, and she wasn't here. And then my kids, they weren't here either, but I got to thank them. They're great, and got 5 of them now, so blended families.
Holy cow. I don't know, that's crazy. But congratulations, man. Great job.
Why do you think I'm racing? Thank you.